My name is Allison Gilette, and I am a senior at Emerson College, and I'm a documentary film production major and science minor. My campus is pretty small compared to most colleges in Boston. We have about 5,000 undergraduates, and we don't actually have a campus. We only have a few buildings, I'd say about 5 or 6 buildings. But the cool thing about it is the park in Boston is called the Boston Commons, and all the buildings surround the Boston Commons, so it's almost as if the Commons were our campus. The people on our campus usually hang out on the Boston Commons, which I said was the park in Boston. People like to be active. We do play Quidditch, or we just hang out and film and stuff on the Boston Commons. My favorite building would probably be the building called Piano Row. It's right next to the Steinway Company, which has been in Boston forever. The street actually used to be called Piano Row when Boston was first being built. And that building's really cool because we actually have a basketball court that is 3 stories underground in that building. And that's also where the student center is, so there's a bunch of places to hang out and get food and hold meetings. The food on campus is definitely better than a lot of other campuses. I actually transferred to Emerson from Quinnipiac University, and I've visited a lot of my friends' campuses before. And yeah, I would say the food's really good. You have a lot of different options, and we just had a new building built, which has really, really good wraps and burgers and soups and things like that. I would say the most special thing about Emerson that actually doesn't exist in any other college in the world is our gymnasium. It's 2 or 3 stories underground, and for that reason, and also because Emerson's an art school and no one really pays attention to sports, whenever a visiting basketball team comes to Boston to play the Boston Celtics, they actually come and practice at our basketball court. So our college has 2 types of living situations. It's either traditional style, where you have 1 or 2 roommates and you live in the same room. Those are pretty small, and on each floor there's a stove that you can cook on and a TV and like a common area. Or you live in a suite, so you would have somewhere between 4 and 6 roommates. Inside of the suite, you have your own kind of kitchen area where there's a sink and places to put a fridge and a microwave. And then on each floor, there's still a common area and a stove. Staying on campus is really good because Emerson is a very close together campus, so you're really, really close to everything. And you don't have to worry about making your own food, but if you wanted to make your own food, you could. And with Emerson, everyone's extremely involved all the time. If you're not in class, you're doing extracurricular activities. So it's really beneficial to be on campus because you constantly have to be on campus even if you're off campus. But the bad thing about living on campus is they really only have 2 types of living. Your freshman year, you usually are traditional style, and then sophomore and junior year, you live suite style. But they don't really have any type of living for underclassmen that include spaces that have ovens, where you can cook and things like that. So living off campus is nice because you can always cook your own food and really don't have to worry about all the rules and regulations that come along with living on campus. So I lived in the traditional style rooms my first year at Emerson, which is actually really nice because I had a room that would be considered a triple, but there was only 2 of us living there. My roommate was really awesome. I was very lucky. So that was really nice, and the dining hall was in the building that I was living in. My second year, I lived in a suite, and you get to pick the people you live with, so that was really nice. I really enjoyed that as well. However, we did have a few problems with the suite as far as facilities goes and maintenance, which had to constantly be fixed. And actually, now that I'm a senior and living off campus, I really wish I was living on campus. Emerson's strength is absolutely its community and its extracurricular activities. Emerson is extremely focused on profession. Whatever your major is, everything you do in your college experience will be related to your major. Emerson gives you a lot of opportunities, especially in film and performing arts, to do what you're going to be doing in your profession later on in life. Emerson really does not tailor to anything except what students are majoring in. So for example, I play Quidditch, and it's not recognized by our school. They don't want to give us any money. All of the classes you have to take general education classes. So I'm a science minor, and all of my science classes are just kind of silly. We don't have labs. They're not real classes. Instead of like biology or ecology, we're taking things like natural disasters and genetics and journalism, things like that. My most rewarding experience actually has been Quidditch. That's kind of where I got my entire friend group. That's what helped me grow as an individual. And now that I'm about to leave college, I'm hopefully going to have a job with the International Quidditch Association. But on top of that, Emerson just really prepares you for the workforce. From your first day at Emerson, you will be doing things in clubs and organizations that you would be doing in the professional world. The most challenging experience was coming in as a transfer student and then transferring majors once I got to Emerson. It was very hard for me to stay on track with graduation. And I really had to work hard in all of my classes to kind of establish that I am a good documentary filmmaker and just as good as everyone who's been doing it for the past 3 years. 3 words to describe Emerson would be innovative, community, and spunk. We actually do have a lot of international students, and they immerse really, really well at Emerson. I'm friends with at least 8, I'd say, international students, and that's a lot. Considering we have only 5,000 students, we have a lot of international students. And as far as I know, they have a lot of fun. They love it here, and all of my friends they want to move here when school's over. I mean, your overall experience at Emerson is a fun one. Everyone, absolutely everyone here is 100% focused on their career. But everyone is so like lively and vibrant that it doesn't feel like that. It feels like it's a social school, but it's not, because all that everyone is doing is focusing on their career. Emerson is actually considered really exceptional for a lot of its departments, but the 2 major ones are its film department and its performing arts department. All of the students that come out of Emerson's film department go to LA and get jobs in Hollywood. Performing arts I'm not as familiar with, but we do have a pro arts conservatum, and we have a lot of performance spaces that all professional companies rent out from us. And that also makes us have a lot of really good opportunities to see good films and performances that come to Emerson. Emerson's actually really easy to adapt to from high school. Like I said, the general education classes are fairly easy and comprehensive. They're really meant just to give you a background to help you with your profession. And really in your first year, it's a lot of general education classes, and there's always someone in every department at Emerson kind of walking you through, this is what you should be doing, and if you have any questions, it's really easy to find people to help you. So I took all the general education classes I had to take, like sociology, history, literature, public speaking, things like that. And then because I transferred majors, I really couldn't deviate much. I had to take kind of what was required of me. So I had introduction to film production, I had intermediate film production, I had documentary production, I took media history classes, media theory classes, script writing classes, things like that. If you had to attend a film class at Emerson, it would absolutely be video field production with C.E. Courtney, and he's also my favorite professor. He just taught me so many useful things. There was one day he came in and said, all right, you're college students, you don't have a lot of money, I'm going to teach you how to make a full lighting kit from Home Depot under $100. And that was just really, really cool for me. If I had to pick a class that was not major specific, I'd pick the class called What is Contemporary Art with David Kettner. Basically what you do in that class is you learn about contemporary art, and then you go around to all the art schools in Boston and choose artists to be in an art show at the end of the year. So you get to curate an entire museum that Emerson has. The worst class I had to take was public speaking. I had an awesome teacher, but it was things that you just kind of already knew, and it was kind of a waste of time. Otherwise, I'd say Eastern religions, because I was very excited to take that class, but the professor was extremely, extremely biased and never really got her points across. Emerson's absolutely more academically inclined, but in a different way than other schools. Like I said, we're an arts school, so we're definitely tailored more to the arts. but every single student is focused on their career and being the best they can be. So basically all of the social groups at Emerson are tailored to your major and what you want to do with your life. There are a few other things, like we do have Greek life. We do have a lot of international life. We have African American, Latina American. We have an Asian group. And then other than that, I mean, we have Quidditch, but it's not recognized by our school. We don't really have any other intramural sports. And we do have regular sports teams as well. So I'm involved in Quidditch. I'm involved in the National Broadcast Society, which produces narrative film, and I'm a part of the Documentary Film Society, which produces documentary film. Quidditch has been my entire college experience. It has completely altered me as a person. I have an extremely close friend group because of Quidditch, and I'm actually the president of Quidditch now, so I have learned a lot as far as organization goes. And I'm a producer, and producer involves a lot of working with people and organization, and Quidditch has absolutely helped me grow as a producer. There are actually quite a few study abroad programs organized by Emerson. There's the Castile Well program, which I did, which is in the Netherlands, in an actual castle. So that is pretty cool. And then there is the LA program, which most of the film and marketing students do, where you actually go out to LA and you work in Hollywood and get an internship there. There's a program in Beijing. There's a summer film program in Prague. There's a performing arts program in London. And those are all I can think of right now. Usually over the weekend, people are either on film shoots, they are rehearsing for their performances that are coming up, they're playing Quidditch, they are basically, during the week we do our schoolwork, and the weekend is the time for us to get all of our other work done. So there is opportunities to kind of hang out and have fun, but most of the time you're getting things done, but it's with everyone you have fun with and care about, so it feels like fun. We do have fraternity and sororities. They're not very big. They don't have their own housing and things like that. But the people I know that are part of them really love them. They're really small, close-knit families that actually do a lot of good work at Emerson. Most popular sport by far is Quidditch. We have 200 members, active members in Quidditch. Other than that, sports are not big at Emerson. We do have sports teams, and of those sports teams, I'd probably say the most popular is either men's volleyball or men's basketball. Sport we're worst at is probably, I'm not really sure, I'd say tennis. The thing that makes my campus stand out from other campuses is the type of, I would say, artistic community we have. We have a lot of majors from film to performing arts to writing, literature, and publishing. And everyone at Emerson is extremely vibrant and extremely outgoing.